So Shonda and Tristan are back. Does that mean they're eligible for selection on Saturday?
I'm hoping so. Yeah, I mean that was this week has been the last hurdle is the climb, so this was a good step forward. So hopefully they will both be available.
And Moscara didn't see out there. Is he out for Saturday?
Yeah, most likely. I mean, we're waiting on him to kind of continue. You have more evaluations, but it's been the same thing that's been going on with him, and possibly there's been an extension of the knee injury that he is dealing with. So it's unfortunate. It's something that we were already managing. He went the non-surgery route for the meniscus tear, and it's just it's not going to get any better at this moment. So I think he'll be out.
It's expected he's going to have off-season surgery then?
I don't know about that.
Okay.
Like that.
Yeah.
I'll leave that to whoever makes that decision.
And Quinton, is he cleared?
No,
Okay.
He's still in the same protocols.
And lastly, Bram, when is he going to rejoin the team, and will he be available for selection?
Yeah, he got back this morning. His flight landed this morning, so he actually should be in there doing regen. And yeah, he'll be back with the team.
Okay. It's probably not been the season that anyone expected from the team, but would making the playoffs kind of make up for all the hurdles y'all have had to try to clear this year?
No, nothing makes up for it. Like we're not in the spot we want to be in from club standpoint, from a personal standpoint. All the players in there, this is not the position they want to be in, but it is the position that we were in. So we're still fighting to the last day, which has been the mentality that we've had ever since we've had the chance to take over the group. Is never given up and continues to push for something at the end of it.
Have you had conversations with Garth about the job, the full-time job, or your next role yet?
There has been conversations. There's been no solid answer. About what my future is.
We saw Dax out there, just kind of, it looked like he was taking it all in, shoes and socks off, and just kind of hanging out. I was curious, has there been any talk of just trying to win it for Dax, so to speak?
I don't know about internally. I mean, we had when he did make the announcement, he told the group that he was still committed to them. It was just something that he was bringing more clarity to his life after soccer. I don't know if there's a win it for him, but he's somebody that's had a massive impact not only on like this team in the short time he's had, but also on the league. And I think that there's something to be said for people like him that have been around the league for as long as they have. It's obviously not the season that I'm sure he wanted, whether it's personally or even as a team. But he'll want to finish on the high, and especially going back to Orlando where he's from.
What makes Orlando a tough opponent?
And they've got good players. They've got a great way of playing. Oscar's done a great job of coaching that team. They seem to really hit form and most years in the right time. So he understands the league and what comes with it. So they ride the ebbs and flows of the season and how it goes, and then they peak at the right time. I think, like I said, they've got good players, a way of playing. They've had a consistent roster that they've had. They've got dangerous attackers. They've got center backs and defenders that are veterans that understand the league as well. So I think that plays a part. And like I said, they've got a good coach that's been around this league a long time, and an experienced coach in general that understands it.
The team needs other results to go its way to make the playoffs. Y'all are in a difficult situation. Obviously, this is not all on you. But I'm curious, since you took over, is there any one decision that you wish you would not have made or would do over?
Yeah, I mean, didn't expect that question. The short answer is no, because that's what life's about. Your journey's about. It's about learning from your mistakes and not making the same mistakes and picking up from what you did and your lessons you've learned, and whether that's here or somewhere else that I get another chance to do this job or a different type of role, that you take all those experiences and you learn from them. But no, I don't regret anything. I wish there was more I wish we were in a better position right now. That'd be great. That'd be awesome. But we're not. And so I always take the reality of what we have, and we can only control what we can. I've talked about it lots of times, like be where your feet are, be present in the moment, and take every game as it comes. So that's what we're doing, taking the seriousness of the game and everything else around us. It doesn't matter if we don't take care of our own business. And I don't regret anything that happened in terms of the decisions we made. We make the decisions that we think are right with all the information we have. And then at the end of it, we look at, was that the right decision? Yeah, well, it was right at the time. Did it work? Maybe not, maybe yes. And then you look at that and you try to replicate and continue to make the best decisions, not only for myself or the staff, but you look at the players and the club and how you're representing them and the people of Atlanta, how you represent them, and making best decisions that everyone can be proud of a group that we have here. Like the other day, this is not on. Maybe no one will ask me about this, but yesterday we had the Appalachia kids, and that's what it's about. Like, that's how you continue to be part of this community and lift people up when they're struggling. There's nothing we can do to make them feel better, but allowing them to come see the facility, come see training, and be a part of their process of getting back to finding joy in life was really incredible. To see their faces and to see how much it meant to them to be around it. Like, there was so much positivity coming from them that was really infectious, because we look at the position that we are in, unfortunately, in terms of like the standings and where we are as a club right now, and it can be easy to get more doom and gloom, but they put a lot of things in perspective for us as people, and like, that was really infectious. I'm really humbled and grateful to be in the position I am right now, to be able to provide joy in the process of how they're trying to move forward. So that was pretty incredible. But to loop back to your question, I don't have any regrets, because all the decisions we made were what we thought were the right at the time, and we'll always learn from everything we have done.
What was your message to the kids, and what did the kids teach you yesterday?
It was the joy that they had on their face. You know, they're smiling, they're laughing, they're very jovial. They're obviously interacting with the players, taking pictures. That was the most time I've seen the players spend with people that have come and visited. So you could see that the energy was contagious, that they were feeding off each other, and they were just grateful. They were grateful to be on the field for a little bit, to just be around. And my message to them was, it's really insignificant, to be honest, because like, what they have gone through, no people should go through that. You know, my own son goes to school and they do these code red drills, and it becomes close to home because I watch how that affects him. It's not something that probably any of us grew up going to school and having to do code red drills because of these horrific things that are happening. This will forever change their lives, and that is something in itself of how these people will move forward. But when I got the email about these people potentially coming, or getting them the opportunity to come here, and the words they used were joy, and being in a process of trying to have joy. So I think their football teams went and saw the Falcons, the basketball teams went and saw Georgia Tech, and so to have them here and talk about the joy that they're trying to bring in their lives to move forward, like, that's the infectious part, is that, all right, this is what we do for a living. This is something that I don't ever take for granted, but it's an opportunity that you can feed off each other and hopefully help in their process of moving forward.
Okay, coming to this game on Saturday, what's the mentality of the team, knowing that you need to win and then some other results?
Yeah, the mentality is to focus only on the task at hand, is the win. We know that it's not a draw, it's definitely not a loss, and it's only about winning the game, and everything else we can't control. So that's the unfortunate part that we are in, that we've dropped results not only throughout the season, but just that last little bit, the last week. That's the unfortunate part, that you look at the small little details that we had, and we could have had it in our hands. We don't. So now we need to win the game, and then from there, we'll see where everything lies. At the end of the day, if we win the game, that's the only thing we can focus on right now.
At some point, do you think you can play with two forwards, Daniel and Jamal?
Yeah, maybe that could be an option. It could be something we look at, whether it's from the start or whether it's from however the game state is. We'll have to throw everything we can at the game. And they're right. We've got 90 minutes to go attempt to win the game. So it's not about throwing everything at the beginning, or at what stage and the right timing of how the game interacts. So that could be an option as well.
After watching some games from Orlando, do you find some weaknesses on the team?
Yeah, I mean, every team has weaknesses. I'm always full of respect for the opponent. But on any given day, any team can win. So they'll have weaknesses that we'll try to exploit, just like they'll do to us. And the game that we played early on in the season is not indicative of the team that we will face. They'll have a much different lineup. We'll have a different lineup as well. So, they'll have weaknesses, but they also have strengths. So I just all respect to the opponent.
What do you think is the key point for you to get a good result on Saturday?
More goals than them, not concede. That's the simplistic way is really that. I mean, there's areas that hopefully we can go and exploit that we've touched on this week and throughout the time, and it'll be real key moments throughout the game of how we manage key moments, especially away from home. Not an easy place to play, but one that hopefully we'll thrive in.
you said that you can't obviously get things back that happened previous this season, but through all the ups and downs that this team, this organization has gone through this year, to be in the position you're at where you, even though you need help, you still are alive for postseason berth, what does that say to you about just the resiliency of the players, especially those who have been here, through the whole thing this year, that they're still in this position to where they can extend their season?
Yeah, I mean, I love that outlook that you bring there. It's one that I've been trying to bring more of myself, I guess, because I'm frustrated that I thought we could be in a better position moving forward, especially over the last couple of weeks, and so we'd be in a different place today. And Robbo had said to me, even when he first joined, he said, all we want to be doing is fighting on that last day in Orlando. That's we want to, and I was like, yeah, but we can be in a better position and we can be looking at it in a different way. We're not, but we are still fighting, and that's one thing I always say to them. Like, you have to keep showing up, keep doing your job, and have the best chance you have. So it says a lot about them as characters. Even things haven't gone the way they wanted and the way we've wanted, but there's nothing that we can look back on and do differently. We can't change what happened in the past, even good or bad. The best thing about the past, it's in the past, and we look to move forward. So we're fighting for something on that last day, and that's great. The rest, it's irrelevant. It's frustrating that we have to rely on others, but we can just focus on us winning the game, and that's that.
You've been part of decision days in the past, last days of tournaments. How different does the match kind of flow when there's multiple games that affect you all at the same time?
Yeah, I mean, I think that I would imagine both opponents definitely on our side, we're not going to focus on anything else other than our game, and they'll be the same. So that intensity, they know that there's other games going on at the same time, which is great, and I'm sure the fans and people love that part. I remember back in, I think it was 2020 with Columbus, and we still had something to play for at the end, and the intensity of the match just rose as it kind of went on, and the chances were really bleak, but the guys kept fighting, and there was intensity in tackles, intensity in all the challenges. So I expect something like that, especially with the way their group plays. Like, they're an intense group, and playing away from home, it has been a rivalry in the past, so it'll be something that I'm sure plays into it as well. So it's there's no coincidence in life, but playing Orlando on the last day, on decision day, is not a coincidence.
Have you felt an urgency in the group in these past couple of weeks, and did maybe that feeling in the group change after the Appalachia kids were here?
Yeah, I would have hoped that there was that urgency. I always talk about that before, but at the same time, when the season started to get closer and closer towards the regular season, towards the end of it, that didn't mean that we won games. Obviously, like, there in the moments where we really needed that to be the urgency to be shown, at times it didn't. So the inconsistency was there for us throughout the whole season. But I think they got some, I wouldn't say relief, but having those kids here and having the staff here, it showed them a different perspective on life, but also they were super focused in the session, and then they were able to switch off and then turn off and be that sense of joy for the kids, and really have like a back and forth. So I think the urgency is there, but they didn't need it in that moment with them. So
I know you watch a lot of coaches' motivational talks and read a lot about that. I'm curious if you've thought about what you're going to say to the guys on Saturday before the game.
Yeah, I think about that stuff all the time. Last time we talked about Inky Johnson, who's a local guy, and he's fantastic. I love listening to him, and he resonates with me a lot, just not because of what he's gone through, but he talks about adversity a lot and overcoming adversity. So we touched on some things that he's spoke about, and even showed them a video of that this week. It's funny how things kind of hit you. I'm part of a group of dads through a church called Legacy Makers, and what they talked about the other day was overcoming discouraging voices, and it was about from the outside voices and your own internal voices, and we touched on from the biblical standpoint, we touched on the David and Goliath story, and like I said, I don't think there's coincidences in life. It doesn't mean you win, lose, it doesn't predict the outcome, but that's something that is played on my head about what we talk about with the group, and mainly the discouraging voices and how they can affect you. And so I've told them before about blocking out the noise on the outside, but then also it happens. We're in human nature, and when things don't go your way internally, your voices are probably telling you not the best things either. So trying to turn our inside voices and our internal voices into positivity, and controlling what we can at the last day of the season. Thank you all. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Rob.